I already have. You've had 20 years of my taxes, yes. I know you love taxes. Donald Trump, when's he releasing his? Well, I am, because that's why I released all my taxes for decades, and you will have all those new tax returns because I have no reason why you haven't gotten them already, so I have no problem.
California Governor Gavin Newsom considered by some to be a contender for the 2028 Democratic presidential nomination, and he appears to be answering questions like that is campaign season underway. Welcome back to the States. I'm Greg Bishop. The most recent Voters' Voice poll from the Center Square found the preferred Democratic presidential primary candidate was Kamala Harris, with Noble Predictive Insights finding 27% of more than 2,000 people polled. Now, the category Not Sure garnered 17%. Newsom came in third with 14%. But during an unrelated news conference yesterday in California, Newsom was asked about national politics. He was also asked about, apparently, the U.S. Department of Justice investigating people within his circle over the past year for reasons that have yet to be fully disclosed.
I'm not sure. Maybe you guys have reported it as well. People have stated pretty clearly that they were directed to find something.
Have more people been contacted in your circle?
To find something. Just directed. Find something. It says everything you need to know about the United States of America under Donald Trump. And so we continue to, maintain vigilance as it relates to the just weaponization by the Department of Justice and other power ministries under the Trump administration, the most corrupt administration in history that has gone after his opponents consistently. And so I was clear in that statement why I did what I did, and that was the abuse was overwhelming. Poor and innocent people getting knocks on the door first thing in the morning, having to hire private attorneys, lives and reputation at risk for no other reason they want to take me out, going after my wife. Doesn't have the gut. He's tried. You've reported that. Couldn't figure out how to get me. Now he's trying to find anyone around us. That's America. That's abusive. It's wrong.
Now, Republicans may be quick to say that the Biden administration weaponized the DOJ against President Donald Trump, raiding his home in Mar-a-Lago, and even Trump himself talking about how they went through some of the personal effects of his wife, and a variety of other individuals associated with Trump going through various other similar types of raids. But to the Newsom investigation, a source told the Center Square the investigations are being run through the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of California, and, quote, they were triggered by local sources and whistleblowers in California. Unrelated, Assemblymember Carl DeMeo requested an investigation into Newsom's use of California taxpayer-funded resources after Newsom recently put in a Freedom of Information Act request about the investigation. Now, Newsom also recently was fined over $31,000 for failure to report timely 36 behested payments worth more than $5 million. Now, back to yesterday's news conference and other questions. Newsom was asked about how Democrats should prepare for a growing movement of Democratic Socialists winning primary elections across the country.
With the early versions of the DSA, I've seen this all my life. I think it's incredibly healthy. I don't understand this sort of notion it's zero sum. And it's always been present in our politics. I've been sort of mystified by the punditry. There's a lot of, I get for certain reasons, there's an over-indexing because they want to paint a picture of the party. The Green Party was in ascendancy during, the early, late part of 99, 2000, 2001, 2, 3. Progressives, in all stripes of the sort of early DSA. And what are they promoting? TK, you're right, for all. Free community college, low carbon green growth, cap and trade, equity, higher minimum wage, $25 for healthcare workers. And Ashley's point, $20 for fast food workers. I think $16.90. I haven't checked the latest indexing. I think it's going into effect shortly. on our Maine. Those are what they're advocating for. We're advocating for all of that and balanced budgets, not to be profligate, to be progressive. So the alignment is more remarkably, the Venn diagram from my perspective is, sort of 80-20 as opposed to 20-80. And so I just don't see this in those old terms.
Now, Newsom further talked about how he's looking to support candidates across the country to try to give Democrats control of the U.S. House.
We got to take back the House of Representatives or we'll lose this republic. I talked about this Trump administration as the great grift because this is a corruption story. We will lose the republic. We will lose this country unless we're vigilant about what's going on in terms of election security. This is serious. It's a 5-alarm fire. This guy is not screwing around. He's just winding up. More unhinged by the hour. I will advocate to take back the House of Representatives. I'll advocate to make sure that there's a system of checks and balances so we can truly celebrate the 250th anniversary of the best of Roman Republic and Greek democracy and our founding fathers, because that's what a republic is all about, for which it stands. 3 independent, co-equal branches of government. Not the power ministries that I described, and the DOJ and the FBI and the IRS, and those that countenance it, and those that cover for it. A supine Congress is not what the founding fathers promoted. It's not what they advocated for. It's the rule of law, not the rule of dawn.
Now, questions about other national political stories also brought up. Newsom was asked about Graham Plattner, who recently suspended his U.S. Senate run in Maine over sexual assault allegations that he denies. Now, Newsom said it's time to move forward.
I'm already, forgive me, turn the page and move on. I can't get into the demerits of what they do in Maine in terms of that vetting process, et cetera. I just don't know enough to have an informed opinion. Clearly, there wasn't enough vetting done, so that's by definition table stakes in this conversation. But for me, the stake in the ground is what do we do to win and move forward? And every second we're talking about the past is a second wasted in terms of the essential nature of that race in the context of taking back not just the House of Representatives, Speaker Jeffries, but also taking back control and wresting control away from a Senate that has been hell-bent on rolling back, as has the House of Representatives.
Now, outside of different national political conversations, the governor was asked about something impacting California, and that is recovery from recent fires, where he took the opportunity to criticize the Trump administration.
We have a lot more work to do, and we continue to strive to do more and better, including 10xing the vegetation management and forest management to prevent these fires, the historic investments in terms of technology to make sure we're even more aggressive as it relates to mitigating the impacts of these fires. But the issue of FEMA and the issue of partnerships with the federal government is real. And you've got an administration who's hell-bent on gutting that agency and not being here for the American people. And it's not just here in California, it's all across the United States of America. So I express not just empathy, but anger.
Now, Newsom, he's serving his second and final term. His term as California governor, after hitting that 2-term limit, ends January 4th, 2027. That'll be after the November election, but it'll be before the 2028 primary for president. We'll cover it all for you here with the States.